Welcome to another edition of The Way I See It with your host, Ralph Williams. And now, without further ado, Ralph Williams.
Well, it's a big show. Oh, it's a big bad show tonight. Oh, baby, come on. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a big show.
Oh, yes, it is. It's the big show. It's me, Ralph Williams, solo tonight. And you know, when I'm solo, I'm dangerous. And oh, yeah, it's an exciting Monday night. It's always exciting to be here on social media with you on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter X platforms and I say for the way we see it. But tonight it's going to be me, Ralph Williams, the way I see it. Tonight, Bill is spending time with his family, so he will not be joining us tonight. So anyway, it's great to be here. We have a lot to talk about tonight. Burgettstown School District, I'm going to blast you tonight. We're going to talk later on in key topics. Teachers shortage, and this is probably one of the reasons why there is one. We're going to talk about that as well. And a whole lot more here tonight on the way we see it, but it's the way I see it tonight because Bill's not with me. All right, our Chinese wisdom is any impatience you show will only create more stress. That is our Chinese wisdom tonight. All right. That's our Chinese wisdom. Now we're going to get into our blast segment tonight. And our blast segment is, well, I'll tell you what here. First of all, I forgot to mention our studio sponsor, Canatta Heating and Air Conditioning. Their number is 724-201-0500. Call Canatta today. Canatta Heating and Air Conditioning. Do you need to get your furnace up to speed or your air conditioner up to speed or anything like that? Well, you need to call them today. Their number is 724-201-0500. Canatta Heating and Air Conditioning, our studio sponsor. We're also in the 808 studios here in Allentown section of the city of Pittsburgh. All right, our blast segment. Let's get started here. Allegheny County Council. Guess what? I'm blasting you tonight because you should have never shut down or tried to delay the opening of Schumann Center because of your stupid lawsuit. Well, guess what now? Adelphoi has struck back, and I'm glad they have. And guess what? Since Adelphoi has struck back at you, you are being countersued. So now you got egg on your face, and I'm blasting you tonight because you should have never did this. This is just crazy about Big Mouth Bethany and all her cronies down at County Council that, couldn't care less if Schumann Center was open by Adelphoi. They would rather the juveniles run all over the streets and everything, cause crimes. That, again, as I've said many times, is our progressive Democrats. Next. The Philadelphia off-duty cop who was pulled over by a state police officer, and then he used his authority to get the state policeman fired through some political channels. Come on. We're supposed to work together. And now I come to find out that the state police do not work together, okay? They do not work together at all with the local Philadelphia Police Department. Unlike here, of course, where the state police work good with Pittsburgh police. But I'm blasting the Philadelphia off-duty in the DA's office for even filing charges and trying to get this guy fired, this state cop, for pulling over an off-duty Philadelphia police officer. Shame on you. All right. Thomas Jefferson administrator. This is unacceptable. Someone brought it to my attention that their daughter, some boy, grabbed her daughter's ass without her permission. Went to the administrator, Thomas Jefferson, And now Thomas Jefferson's administrator is blaming it on the girl. Okay. And now the parent is having all kinds of issues with this now at Thomas Jefferson. Shame on you for that. All right, next, Burgettstown Area High School. I'm blasting you tonight. You know why I'm blasting you? Because shame on you too. You had a 14-year-old student who was attending a dance, paid for a ticket, and then all of a sudden you don't want to, tell her to leave the dance because she was a cyber student and she didn't participate in other school activities. Well, you know what? Who cares? What do you care? Burgettstown is being paid for this by this cyber school for this girl to have an education. Just because she don't have it in your school, that doesn't mean she shouldn't attend. All right, next, the city administration with this guy. I think his name's William Mitchell or whatever from for the Juneteenth thing, making it harder and harder for him again to try to get a permit for Juneteenth. Now, last year he went through all the procedures. Now this year he did it again. And then gets told after he paid the fee and everything that, oh, wait a minute, we found somebody. And it happens to be friends of the mayor. Wonderful, isn't it? City administration in my blast again. County council in my blast again. It happens every week. All right, next. The bagel place in Squirrel Hill with mice infestation. Shame on you. Why would you have mice infestation? Popeye's Restaurant Robinson. Same thing. For unsanitation. You get people sick. I mean, come on, you don't do stuff like that. Blasting both of you guys, both of you tonight. That's our blast segment tonight here on The Way We See It. All right, tonight's The Way I See It with me, Ralph Williams. And when I'm by myself, I'm dangerous. And you know it. Because tonight we're going to tell it like it is, like we always do. And we're going to say things the way we always say things. But tonight I'm by myself and I'm going to do it like this. So anyhow, let's get started with the bonehead segment. Two rowdy passengers who allegedly drank nearly an entire liter of vodka got kicked off of a flight. How about that? That's a boneheaded move. How about the teaching assistant found afterwards that a student drank from her water bottle and it was full of vodka. That was a bonehead move there too. Wow. Two boys arrested in Florida for dumping trash on the beach. Why would you do that? Or in the ocean. I'm sorry, in the ocean. Parents these days, man. Unruly passenger on a Delta flight fined $20,000 for a March incident. Now, that was a boneheaded move. All right. A homeless person called Roof Ninja. Listen to this. What a bonehead move this was. She was sleeping in a grocery store sign. Inside the sign, she was even using the electric and sleeping in it. She was using it with a space heater and a TV and a radio or whatever and charge her cell phone, whatever. Homeless lady. Well, she finally got caught. And, that was a boneheaded move to sleep inside of a store sign to begin with. And that's our bonehead segment for tonight. Our ridiculousness. An Aspen, Colorado ski resort charging somebody $91.36 for 2 pizzas. What have we come to in this country that we're overcharging people to make a mint? Oh my. A New Hampshire man who tipped over a porta potty with a woman and a child in it. Oh, come on, man. Really? An Indiana County man who tried to extort from his former employee $60,000 who owned a car dealership, Indiana, PA. Are you kidding me? Oh, my. You know what? I tell you what, it's a tough world we live in these days. It really is. The reason I say it's tough is because of what's been going on. All right, before we get into our key topics tonight, I don't know if those of you watched my special announcement video that I put out yesterday, and I did that for a reason. And you need to watch it on YouTube. It's on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, Ralph Williams, RW Media. Don't forget to subscribe, by the way. Okay? Basically, it details the facts of some things that have happened between me and Beaver County Radio. And I'm not going to go into that. I want you to watch the video. It's on YouTube. Again, Ralph Williams, RW Media. Go up to where it says Sports Corner Special Announcement. Go into the Sports Corner file, punch up Sports Corner with Ralph Williams. You can even do that in the search bar, and it'll come up. Okay. All right. So check that out. The special announcement about Sports Corner Radio. And speaking of Sports Corner Radio, one of the parts of the special announcement was tomorrow afternoon, Sports Corner broadcast that's normally on Beaver County Radio will not be happening tomorrow. The reason why is because WPIAL has decided that they're going to, I guess, their playoff game of baseball. They're in the baseball playoffs. I think that's what it is on Beaver County Radio. So my show got preempted. Now, I spoke to the GM, and he couldn't do anything for me to try to get me on another night. So here we are. We're going to be on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter X platforms tomorrow. Myself, Smoking Jim Frazier. And we have a pretty decent, we have a really good guest list tomorrow coming up. It starts off at 4 with Mike Sisak from Amped Up Sports. He's going to be here to talk with us about the Washington Redskins, the Baltimore Ravens, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then at 4:30, Keith Engel from TGI Sports Network. He's coming on to talk with us about just about any kind of topic. 5 o'clock, we have Robert Cobb. He will be joining us. He covers the Cleveland Browns. I tried to get somebody on for the Cincinnati Bengals, and I could not. So we couldn't do the whole AFC North thing. At 5:30, we will have Matt Grubba on from the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. He will be joining us at 5:30. And that's all right here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter X platforms. And there's also a possibility the next Tuesday's broadcast, the 21st, could also be on social media as well. All right. So this week, I had an interesting week. I always ask Bill how his went. Mine was kind of interesting. But here's the thing that's bothering me right now. I go to an occasional fast food restaurant. I don't go to too many of them these days because I'm trying to cut my weight back, and I have done a really good job of cutting my weight back. Okay. Basically, you go there, you go to the drive-through, and I shout. I have a big voice. I mean, if you can't hear me, you got a problem. I pull up to the drive-through, and here's a guy that's at a drive-through. He's making $15 an hour because that's what fast food pays now, $15 an hour. This is what all fast food workers have wanted for years, and now it's here, okay? And nobody wants to work. And then I get this. He goes, "Welcome to McDonald's. Are you going to be using the app?" No, I don't use the app. Okay. "Can I take your order?" So I start barking my order out to him. And then he cuts me off. Well, then, no, I'm sorry. He didn't cut me off. The guy at the Arby's drive-thru cut me off. And he goes, and I'm trying to give him the order, and he cuts me off. And I don't like when people do that. I know how to professionally talk to a drive-thru person. And the reason why is because I worked at a drive-thru. Okay. I know the etiquette of speaking into a drive-thru microphone. Okay. Unlike others, or whatever, got marbles in your mouth, crap in your mouth or whatever. Okay. And the thing is, so I get there, and I have nothing against fast food workers. They work hard. They work very hard. I have nothing against them. What I have a problem with is, and Brian Duffy pointed this out to me, who was a world-renowned chef that I interviewed last year and only got 30 views. Okay. So anyhow, on my Ralph Williams one-on-one show. Anyway, he said this. People who are making big money now in restaurants are the same people who made the low money, and the quality of the food still the same. So he told me he don't eat out anymore. And he sold all of his restaurants because he couldn't get help. He sold his restaurants because he couldn't get help. Quality help that he wants to put heart into the food. Okay? And grant you're not going to get that at a fast food restaurant. There was a report out today that says about how fast food has gone up substantially. Yes, it has. Okay. My wife and I, we don't eat there as often as we used to because we're both losing weight and we don't want to be doing that. But I will stop and get a wrap or a drink, okay, or something to that effect. Sundays or some mornings when I have my early doctor's appointments, we might stop and get maybe a burrito or something just to hold me over or hold us over until we get done at the doctor's. Okay. I don't eat before I go to the doctor's because I have to fast because and I have diabetes. So I want to make sure my sugar's good when I'm at the doctor's office and then it's not high. Okay. I have gone on this big time new regimen because my sugar's high. And if you're a diabetic, I recommend you to do the same thing because I'm going to tell you something right now. I had my accident a few weeks back here at the building. I think I explained it to you on a show or two prior, which you can check archive version, excuse me, once again on my YouTube channel. Okay. So, you go to these places and you say your order and they go, huh? Oh, can you repeat that, please? Uh, did you say Dr. Pepper? No, I said Diet Coke. I said Coke Zero. I said large orange juice. I did not say Dr. Pepper. Okay? All right. Think about it. Think about the next time you go to a fast food restaurant and you speak as clear as I do, okay? And you shout into the microphone what you want, and then you get frustrated because that person doesn't listen or doesn't hear what you're saying. Okay. All right. Okay. When we come back from this break, we're going to talk about our key topics right after these words. 2024, 3 p.m. S&T Bank Arena. It's called Pro Wrestling, Sunday, June 23rd, 2024, 3 p.m. S&T Bank Arena. It's called Evolution, brought to you by Allied Powers Wrestling Federation. EC3 will make an appearance, the NWA World Champion, and a whole lot more. Great entertainment for the family, family friendly. $25 for the first 2 rows, $20 for the floor, and $15 general admission. Get your tickets now for Evolution, brought to you by Allied Powers Wrestling Federation. Do you drive a dirty car? Why? You need to have your car detailed and detailed by professionals at P6 Auto Detailing, New Kensington, Pennsylvania. Call today, 412-965-6578. P6 Auto Detailing. They are the professionals at detailing cars. That number again, 412-965-6578. P6 Auto Detailing in New Kensington. I'm Ralph Williams here today to talk to you about the Boxing Authorities TV program. The Boxing Authorities is a TV show that talks about boxing with Luther Dupree Jr., Claudio Rosano, and Smokin' Jim Frazier. Tune in to the Boxing Authorities on PCTV Channel 21, Comcast 47, Verizon Cable in Allegheny County, and also on PCTV's Facebook page. Also, don't forget to tune in to them on the Chatterbox Network and also on the WBC networks as well. The Boxing Authorities is a real intensive program. It talks about all the different boxing matches coming up. They break down every match and they break down all the legends. And also they have guests on the show as well. The Boxing Authorities. Tune in today. And I tell you, they are the best in boxing authorities. That's why they're the Boxing Authorities. Hello, Ralph Williams here to talk to you today about Sleep Pittsburgh 8th Avenue Homestead for the best selection of affordable mattresses, day beds, lift chairs, futons, and more. Check out sleeppittsburgh.com for their inventory or call 412-462-7858. They also offer no credit check financing and a whole lot more. Sleep Pittsburgh for
the best sleep tonight.
All right, we're back here at the way I see it today. Bill's not with me tonight, so it'll be the way I see it. I'm Ralph Williams. We're here every Monday night, 7 p.m. Ralph Williams, Bill Canatta. It's called The Way We See It. But tonight I'm by myself. And when I'm by myself, I'm dangerous. Okay, I just want to let everyone know that. Okay, let's get started with our key topics today. And these two incidents here in schools, and this is probably another reason why there's a teacher shortage. And you know, I get there's a teacher shortage and it's bad. I saw a report recently where it showed kids throwing chairs at teachers, kids beating up teachers, kids following teachers home in their cars because, kids drive, okay, or their parents. I remember a few years back, there was a woman who followed a teacher home from a Pittsburgh public school because she was frustrated because she took her child's cell phone. Followed the teacher home in her car, got out and tried to assault her. Okay? This is why we don't have teachers, folks. This is exactly what it is. Okay? It's dangerous. It's not safe. Our schools haven't been safe in a long time, and some school districts now are letting the teachers carry guns because of it. Okay? Take a look at these school districts lately that have been installing or having new systems involved, having uniformed officers with firearms, their own police department. Why? Because they need to. Okay. But unlike the Pittsburgh public schools, some of these school districts that have their police departments, they're armed. Okay. Pittsburgh public schools officers are not armed. I don't know who decided to do this, but it's these progressive Democrats, it's these people who have no clue on the school board exactly what's going on. The worst school district in the entire Western Pennsylvania area for safety is Pittsburgh Public Schools. They only spend $22,000 a year. I saw their budget. Okay. As an alum, that's unacceptable to me. Okay. This is why there's a teacher shortage. The schools are not safe. I know some teachers, again, who have retired early or have moved on to go teach in the Catholic school and take less money, who have moved on to go teach somewhere else and be a little more respected at a different school district. Okay. And it don't matter what color the kids are, they're all bad, most of them. Some of them are decent kids that are grown up by decent parents. And then you have the parents that come in there. Oh, you assaulted my son. Oh, you put your hands on my kid. Well, your kid put your hands on me. Okay, it's that simple. Oh, I'm going to file a lawsuit against you. Okay, now I'm going to give you two incidences here, or one incident here, of a teacher who happens to be a friend of mine. Okay, she was a teacher and she was handling a mentally challenged student. The mentally challenged student's parents decided to go sue her, claiming that she did something to the kid, and she didn't. Now, she lost her job. She got fired. She got fired. The union is trying to get her job back. Okay. They filed charges with the police. She got arrested. She was put in jail. Okay. And this is why you can't get teachers. Okay. And you got these parents out here who have this philosophy of, I'm going to milk the school district because you put one little teeny little finger on my child. Okay. Just like police departments, they're not respected. The police, the teachers, not respected at all. And again, I've said this many times, some teachers bring it on themselves and some police officers bring it on themselves. Well, what about the good teachers? What about the good police officers? What about them? Huh? Who speaks for them? Who vouches for them? And there are good ones out there. But you have all these people out there protesting about how the police are bad. All because one officer shot some African American kid who robbed 10 old ladies and went into some store and shot a clerk who was working for $10 an hour at the time, probably. Okay. You go in there and shoot robbed several old ladies over the years, shoots this clerk and dies and gets charged with murder. They shoot this kid and kill him. You can't do that. He's African American, but he committed a crime. Teachers are the same way. They're not respected. A kid punches a teacher in the mouth. That teacher goes to the hospital. That teacher gets traumatized. The school district doesn't give a crap because you know why? They kiss the parents' butt. Parents come in and they start screaming and hollering. Then the lawyer shows up. Then everything else, just like with this teacher. She didn't even put her hands on this child except to help him. And the parents went after the school district. The teacher ended up in jail. This is why we have a teacher shortage. Parents getting crazy because you put your hands on their kids. That's another reason why we have a teacher shortage. No support from the school district. That's another reason why we have a teacher shortage. And it's a shame because we need teachers out here. Parents are bad. Parents don't do their job. Most parents. Okay? Their kids are bad. Their kids are tough. I get it. Teachers don't get paid enough to put up with this crap. And I get it too. No respect for nothing. We just had a guy here in Pittsburgh last week who walked into a church and decided to put a gun up to the face of a pastor. No respect for religion. No respect for a pastor who's trying to do his job and preach to his flock. No respect at all. None. That's what this country's all about. None. Nobody cares. I've said that many years now. Nobody cares. And everybody's lazy. Nobody wants to work. We're still in that mode. Get out of it. It's over. COVID is over. Everything is over. Get out of it. This is why nobody wants to be a teacher. Okay? It doesn't help when the parents don't support the teacher. I drove a bus. Fortunately for me, when I drove a school bus, I had good parents. I had parents that came to me and said, "My child will apologize to you, sir. And the next time he acts up, you let me know again, and we're going to have big problems." That's a parent. Okay? Not the parents of today. You're messing with my kid. Oh, you're giving my kid this. Oh, you're touching my child. Well, your child's mentally challenged and needs to be touched, needs to be handled. You shouldn't have been in a regular school anyway. Okay? It's disgusting. That's why there's a teacher shortage. Okay? And then you got these ridiculous administrators here, and I explained earlier who at the Thomas Jefferson School District ought to be ashamed of themselves. A boy touches a girl's ass, and the girl whose ass got touched is the one that gets in trouble. Now, somebody explain that justice to me. Somebody explain that to me, please. Please explain that justice to me, please. Okay? All right. MSGUMBA 69 says you are right. Yes, I am. And the same one person says true. That is it. This is why your kid's not getting educated. This is why your kid has trouble in school with these teachers, because teachers don't want to teach anymore because of this. Police officers don't want to be police officers anymore because we got too many cell phones and we got too many merchant people crying about George Floyd, crying about Jim Rogers, and crying about everybody else that got beat up by a policeman because they didn't listen and they were criminals. So when you come crying to me about what the police do, I don't want to hear it. They work hard. and they don't get paid nowhere near as much as they should. Teachers are the same way. And now a lot of school districts are requiring master's degrees. A lot of these teachers don't even have that now. Now you got to go to additional schooling. Okay? Most of these school districts now, they want you to have a master's degree. So what does that say? You have to go to college for additional time. You used to be able to go, because I knew a guy who was a teacher, but he had an industrial arts degree. And because he didn't have a bachelor's degree, he couldn't get a job in the Pittsburgh public school system as a full-time teacher. He had to be a substitute. Okay? That's another reason why you can't find a teacher. Okay? Watch the movie Teachers with Nick Nolte. And everything that's in that movie is what I'm telling you right now. Okay? It's an older movie. It's from 1984. It was after he did 48 Hours. Okay? Watch it. Look it up on YouTube. Find it on whatever you find movies or whatever. Teachers. Nick Nolte. Look it up. Find it. Okay? That's why there's a teacher shortage. Last week, I spoke about a nursing shortage. Bill and I both had issues at the hospital. We were both in the hospital. I had to go because I had an accident. And here in the building, my scooter flipped on me, and I ended up on top of me. So they took me to the hospital. Okay? While I was there, I talked to some of the nurses, and they told me some of the things that went on before and after COVID. All right? There's a worker shortage because nobody wants to work. PRT is just now finding good bus. They're finally getting bus drivers, but get this now. At the end of the year, they're getting 200 retirements, and they're about to hire by the end of the year 300 new operators. You see what I'm saying? There's no longevity in a job anymore because nobody makes the longevity good. It doesn't make the longevity of the job good when the employer acts like an idiot. And I'm not blaming this on the worker for being lazy. There are people out there who are good workers, and they're friends of mine, but they refuse to work because of the way they get treated on the job. And I'm not asking the employer to kiss somebody's butt. What I'm asking is to at least be treated like a human being and being treated decent, just like I wasn't at Beaver County Radio. Okay? Watch my Sunday broadcast of Sports Corner special announcement. I'm not going to go into it tonight. I don't have time. Okay? And I told everybody tonight that when I'm by myself on this program, I'm dangerous. And I'm dangerous tonight because you know what? I'm on a roll. Okay. Now let's talk about the Burgettstown School District and what they did. Okay. Kicked out a 14-year-old girl who had already purchased a ticket to a dance because this girl didn't participate in all the curricular activities at the school. She's a cyber student, which of course her parents pay for through the Burgettstown School District. So, which means she should be permitted to participate in these activities and is not and cannot. So she gets kicked out of this dance. Shame on you, Burgettstown. Okay? Why in the world would you do that? What, you think the student's lazy? Well, that's not fair to our students who come here, and make the effort to come to school here and don't sit at home and work on a computer. It's the same damn thing. Okay? And you got to watch yourself on this Burgettstown School District because you know what? Doing this, some parents might take their kids out of the school and keep them at home for cyber schooling. Again, this is why the school districts do not have enough kids in their school systems. And they're cutting schools, they're shutting them down, they're moving kids around. Okay? There's a reason for that, and that's the reason. The reason for the season is because of that as well. Okay? Look at a school district that's crying right now. Some of them that are unsafe, like Pittsburgh Public Schools, and some of the other ones who do stupid things like Burgettstown. We're in the Mata Heating and Air Conditioning Studio, 724-201-0500. Mata Heating and Air Conditioning. Call them today. Ask for Bill. Tell Bill Ralph Williams sent you. All right, when we come back after these words, more of the way I see it tonight, and I'm dangerous when I'm by myself, right after these words.
Let me talk to you here today about Mata Heating and Air Conditioning. 724-201-0500. Mata Heating and Air Conditioning. They have the best technicians to handle your furnace, air conditioner, UV lighting, snow melt, much, much more. Call them today, 724-201-0500. Mata Heating and Air Conditioning. You can also catch them on Facebook at Mata Heating and Air Conditioning. Mata, you oughta call Mata Heating and Air Conditioning. Draft412.com is a website that provides you with all of the best information about any draft, NHL, Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, any kind of draft. 412.com has an e-magazine delivered to your inbox for $9 a month. And also they give you all the skinny and on all the athletes and also podcasts. Draft412.com.
All right, we're back here at the way I see it tonight. Bill's off because of he has a family obligation today. His kids are in town from Florida to get ready to leave over the weekend. He wants to spend a little extra time with them, and then Bill will rejoin us next Monday. So, but it's me, Ralph Williams, by myself today, the way I see it. Okay, which is what this show used to be until I brought on Bill. Now, like I said, check out that special announcement video, and it will tell you about how I have movement in the Sports Corner radio show because of something that went on between me and Beaver County Radio. Okay, so I just want to let everyone know that. So check that out. Sports Corner, pop up Sports Corner with Ralph Williams and Smoking Jim Frey. Well, of course, just Ralph Williams because it's on my YouTube channel. And when you do, it'll say special announcement. Click that, and you can watch that. That was a broadcast I did last night. It was a 40-minute broadcast. And you'll know what's going on with Sports Corner. All right. Okay, let's talk about Adelphoi. Adelphoi now is suing County Council, Allegheny County Council here in Pittsburgh, who is basically a lot of progressive Democrats, which the county executive here is also a progressive Democrat. Okay. For some strange reason, we got a bunch of these young kids that have formed this progressive Democrat thing, and they keep on electing these people, and these people keep on making dumb decisions like Xander Ornstein. Well, county council in their infinite wisdom decided they wanted to sue the county executive's office when at the time had Rich Fitzgerald involved. This has gone through the court system. The court system turned it down twice. So now Adelphoi, because they can't get Schumann Center open immediately and get these juveniles into the facility, and they've had to pay extra money for the facility. And county council at one point refused to give them the extra money that was incurred for the cost to fix Schumann Center. So now Adelphoi, and I was going to work on getting it, I might do that next week. I'm going to work on getting Adelphoi's president on here to talk about this next week. Okay? Because here we are again, these progressive Democrats in Pittsburgh here that refuse to work with people to get something done. You got juveniles running all over the place shooting. We have no room for them anywhere in the state. Okay? We have an opportunity to open up a facility here in Allegheny County called Schumann Juvenile Detention Center, which was closed up because of laziness. Closed up because the county didn't want to run it. They used all kinds of excuses when they closed it. They didn't want to run it anymore. They claimed they couldn't find people to run it. So that's fine. Westmoreland had the same problem. Okay? They were supposed to open up their facility, and they can't open it up because they don't have any staff. Nobody wants to do that kind of work. It's the same situation as with teaching and the rest of them, everybody. It's called damned if you do, damned if you don't. And when you work that kind of a job, that's exactly where we are. Okay. All right. But for Adelphoi to have to sue because they're suing for damages done because it was promised to them in the contract that whatever extra money they needed to get Schumann Center fixed, and county council was turning it down because they weren't involved in the decision to open up Schumann Center through Adelphoi because some judges got together and decided that they had enough of putting these kids on home detention, and then taking off their bracelets and running all over the city causing problems. Yeah, that's right. And I give Judge Kimberly Clark a lot of credit for this because she was the one who instituted this. Okay. When nobody else, including the people on county council who sat around and our current county executive, Sarah Amarato, well, we just want to keep our county safe. Well, I get that. But how can it be safe when your detention center is not opening up? And you got to put these kids in the Allegheny County Jail with adults, which is where they should belong so that they understand that they shouldn't be involved in crimes. But we got all these liberal and progressive Democrats out, we can't do that. Oh, it's against the law. Too bad. And go after the parents. They're the ones that, with these kids. Go after the parents. And I know what you're going to tell me. Well, some of these kids, they have to live with their grandma. I get it. I get it. But that's not my problem. That's your problem. Okay? All right? It's really sad that this is where this has come down to. All right? All right. City of Pittsburgh here, our next topic here, before we go to another break. Then we're going to wrap things up here. The city of Pittsburgh's done it again. They got egg on their face. They charged this guy a fee to use Point State Park for Juneteenth. Now, every year since Gainey's been mayor, they've had problems with this guy, or this guy has had issues with the city administration. They won't give him what he needs to provide for Juneteenth. Last year, they wanted him to pay for city police and the sheriffs and all that to, help out with the event. So he went out and had to hire a private security firm. Now, this year we're playing games with him, with the same guy. Okay, I think his name's William Marshall, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to try to get him on here too. Because I'm the booking machine when it comes to my guests for Sports Corner. Why not book them to come on here? Okay. And here we are. Now they're playing games with him. They will not even give him a permit, and he paid a deposit fee, and they won't even give him a permit because they went out and they got a friend of Ed Gainey's and decided to use them instead to put on the Juneteenth celebration, and not this guy's agency, who's been doing it since it started. Okay? So here we are again, city of Pittsburgh. It's time for you to wake up as a voter and get rid of these people. Get rid of the city council people. Get rid of the mayor the next elections. Get them out. I've had enough, haven't you? Probably not, because you don't care. Probably not because you're a progressive. Probably not because you're going to sit there and go, everything's funny. It's funny when a juvenile shoots a kid or shoots a man. That's the progressive Democrats. They don't care about that kind of stuff. If the progressive Democrats really had their way, there would be no jails. All criminals would be in programs. All right. That's the way I see it tonight. All right. We already covered fast food restaurants. Pride celebration. They're going to have the Pride celebration this year on the north side of Pittsburgh, not downtown. Well, actually, that's great. Because they used to have it when the Three Rivers Arts Festival was going on, which means it was co-mingled with them. Okay. How you doing, Michael? It's great to have you on the show again. So, As always, one of my steadies, Michael. MC Miss Gumba 69. It's great to have you on as well. Okay. So I'm glad. I'm happy they're moving it to the north side. Let them do their little thing over there and not interfere with the people that are doing the arts festival. From what I'm under to the understanding, that's why a lot of people didn't go downtown for the arts festival last year, was because they kept bumping into these pride people. Okay. It's just like the homeless. Do you want homeless bums all over the streets of downtown Pittsburgh while you're in the middle of an arts festival? No. And I got nothing against homeless people because there are people who are homeless. I know someone who is, who lives at the Second Avenue Commons. Okay. But she's not living on a street in a tent. She's not walking around begging people for money. She's not going to, cause problems and rob and steal. You catch what I'm saying? So my plan is take the homeless people and put them in some place. And I've given suggestions many times on this program. And tomorrow I'm planning on possibly speaking at city council and giving it to them. Okay. Because it's unacceptable for these people to be living downtown. And now they want to build these tiny homes. Let them build them, put them up somewhere else, like the Highland Drive VA, St. Clair Village, the old St. Clair Village housing project, the old Bedford dwellings, the part of the Bedford dwellings that's vacant. Put them up there. Put them out in Homewood. Okay. I drove through Lincoln to go to the doctor's office. Plenty of property to put homeless people on and build camps for them. So I'm glad that they're putting pride on the north side because somebody came up with this bright, infinite thing, which is great. I'm happy for you. Finally, you woke up, city council and the mayor, and you finally decided to do something that benefits the fact that the city and the art or the Pride and the Arts Festival just don't mix. Okay. All right. When we come back after these final words, we're going to talk of some more key topics coming up. We're getting ready to wrap things up here shortly here, right after these words.
Let me talk to you today about the original Hometown Pizza in Moon Township, right on University Boulevard. They have some of the best pizza you'll ever have. 412-264-4444. Call for takeout, delivery, or eat in. Go to the original Hometown Pizza today. Mention my name, Ralph Williams, and you will get a discount on your bill. Hometown Pizza, Moon Township, some of the best of the original Hometown Pizza. Ralph Williams here today to let you know that I am handicapped. I'm in a wheelchair, and I will not deny it. But I've had some recent inconveniences lately. So you know what I did? I went out and I reached out to foldandtravelmobility.com. Foldandtravelmobility.com has some of the best folding power wheelchairs. Look, do you not go to certain events because you can't get there or you can't make it because you need a folding power wheelchair to put in your vehicle? Well, guess what? Foldandtravelmobility.com has the right model for you. Get in touch with them today. Foldandtravelmobility.com. Get on the phone, 1-877-GOTFOLD, foldandtravelmobility.com, 1-877-GOTFOLD. Let the experts help you get into a folding power wheelchair. Don't be sad. Be glad. Let your life get back in order. Foldandtravelmobility.com.
Pro Wrestling, Sunday, June 23rd, 2024, 3 p.m. S&T Bank Arena. It's called Evolution, brought to you by Allied Powers Wrestling Federation. EC3 will make an appearance, the NWA World Champion, and a whole lot more. Great entertainment for the family friendly. $25 for the first 2 rows, $20 for the floor, and $15 general admission. Get your tickets now for Evolution, brought to you by Allied Powers Wrestling Federation. Okay, we're back here. It's the way I see it tonight. Bill's off. He's spending time with his family. And we're in the Mata Heating and Air Conditioning Studios, 724-201-0500. Call Mata Heating and Air Conditioning. You ought to call Mata. Give him a call today. Ask for Bill. Tell Bill Ralph Williams sent you. Mata Heating and Air Conditioning. We're in Studios 808 in Allentown section of the city of Pittsburgh. All right. Today in Pittsburgh here, we had a death, an interesting celebrity, world-renowned world-renowned coroner and forensic pathologist Dr. Cyril Weck died today at 93 years old. Now, those of you who don't know who Cyril Weck is, he was the guy who questioned the autopsy of John F. Kennedy. He did the autopsy on John F. Kennedy, and he questioned some of the stuff that was in notes from other people who had done the autopsy. Okay? All right. He also, he didn't question it. He did it, him and a couple other forensic pathologists of his, friends of his. Dr. Cyril Weck also ran for politics here. He was also a politician. He was an instructor at Duquesne and Pitt. Very nice, kind guy who was really good and represented Pittsburgh well. Watch the movie Concussion. Okay. They have a guy playing Cyril Weck on there on the movie Concussion with Will Smith and Alec Baldwin. Okay. So also, Cyril Weck he was the one who questioned the autopsy of John Benet Ramsey. He was the one who did a private autopsy that the police department had asked him to do, which led to the arrest of her parents. Because her parents and whoever did the forensic pathologist report before said that the parents did not murder John Benet Ramsey, and they did. And Cyril Weck was the one who did the autopsy for the police department under a private contractor. Now, he's done a lot of private autopsies, got in trouble here with our DA, Steven Zappala. What had happened was he gave a coroner's inquest saying that the kid was killed. And then after that, the family of the kid who was killed by this cop decided to hire Cyril Weck to do a private autopsy. And when he did the private autopsy, he got in trouble with the DA here. Then they tried to federally charge him with dereliction of duty and doing things on the job. He was being paid by the county, and then he was doing private work at a university, which they let him do. Okay. The forensic laboratory down at our morgue here in Allegheny County is the Cyril Weck morgue. So he was once our coroner, our medical examiner. He was a commissioner. He worked as an assistant DA. And even up to the day he died, before he went into hospice care and got sick, he was a worker. I mean, he turned 90 years old. He still worked. He still did his thing. When most 90-year-olds, man, they sit back and play cards, watch TV, and, that kind of thing. But he was still working away. And D. Thompson died on Thursday. D. Thompson was a sports reporter here in Pittsburgh for Channel 11 News for many years. I remember back in the day when I was younger, I remember D. Thompson, on the air. He used to do sports for WPXI Channel 11, and then he did some shows on their cable network, PCNC, Pittsburgh Cable News Channel. Okay. My co-host, Smoking Jim Frazier, for Sports Corner radio show, he worked hand in hand with D. Thompson. They did a couple shows together, TV shows on PCNC. So, it's sad to hear. My condolences to their families. Some really great people here in Pittsburgh, D. Thompson and Cyril Weck. Sad that they passed away. But that's what happened. David Sanborn passed away today. Jazz singer. Oh my gosh. I mean, we've had here in Pittsburgh a couple different people. Judy O'Connor, former mayor, late Mayor Bob O'Connor's wife. She passed away. Okay. I had a couple members of my church in the last 3 weeks pass away. So it's been tough in this town for death. And I'm hoping that this year's not going to be another 2023 where I had my nephew and my dad die basically within 2 months of each other. Okay. And I can't have that again. That's just something that it's tough. And it's tough that my church member friends passed. we're brothers and sisters in Christ at our church. And, for that to happen, but at least they're in a better place. If they were sick or real sick, they're in a better place. And when God wants, he's going to come and he's going to you're going to go see him. All right, let's get into real quick here. UPMC's new union contract was ratified today. UPMC approved the union for their general workers. Now, my question here is, now that the union has ratified a contract, what's the union going to do about these 1,800 layoffs that UPMC is proposing? Okay. They say they're non-medical affected workers. Now, I'm hearing it's going to be food service people, housekeeping, that kind of thing. So the union applies to them because it's non-medical. It's and some of these workers will be making close to $40,000 a year. Okay. All right. Finally, UPMC lets somebody form a union. Let's let the nurses form one, because I think UPMC will be big, deep doo-doo if UPMC decides to let the nurses form a union, because I'm going to tell you this. From what I found out, and I said this on prior, check out our archive shows that I talked about how I pick the brain, and I always do this wherever I am, of people. How's business? And they tell me the same thing. I can't get any employees. Okay. Or business is bad because the government sucks. Okay. So, as I've said many, many times, UPMC is supposed to be a nonprofit. And when you lay off 1,800 workers and you cause problems with your workers and everything else, is that how you're supposed to behave? Is that how you're supposed to behave as a nonprofit? All right. We'll talk about this another time. Wilkinsburg Wilkinsburg Police Department received a $340,000 grant. Chris DeLuzio, who's a senator, or I think or congressperson, and Flip Flop Fetterman were there today. Well, actually, he was wearing tennis shoes today, not flip flops. All right. Sneakers he was wearing today. He's got that hoodie still. Can't dress a little bit appropriately. At least DeLuzio was dressed in a nice shirt and pants. That's okay. He's going to get voted out because he's another one of these progressives who decides that they want to, do certain stupid things, like turn down the Nippon Steel, U.S. Steel thing. Okay. All right. It's all over LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn. It's all over LinkedIn with U.S. Steel. Union jobs protected. And I've said this many times. Again, check out our archive shows. I've said this many times about how, Nippon has other steel plants in the United States, and they've kept their union contracts, and they've been very nice with them. And they've put millions and millions and billions of dollars into the plants to fix them up, modernize them, which means could be more jobs. But Flip-Flop Fetterman, Biden, and all these people, they don't see that. See? That's the way I see it tonight about these things. Froggy's building downtown has been torn down. It will be turned into bocce courts. Finally, this guy. See, here's what I'm talking about. The city of Pittsburgh has got to stop playing around with these permits. They got to stop playing around making these things political. They got to stop doing this, because it's causing this city to go down. It's taking the city. The progressives are taking this city down. All right. This guy here had to fight till forever. And next week, I'm going to talk to you about a guy who has a strip club in Pittsburgh who had to fight for 6 years before he could open it up. We'll talk about that next week because I don't have time today. All right, just a few announcements. Don't forget, tomorrow, Sports Corner radio show will be here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter X platforms because of the preempted on Beaver County Radio. So it will be here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter X platforms. We have some great guests tomorrow night as well. Myself, Ralph Williams, Smoking Jim Frazier. Wednesday, Ralph's Opinion, 3 p.m. right here on our social media platforms. Friday, the External Bum Show with me, Ralph Williams, Scott Morganroth, and Leo Haggerty, and a guest of our choosing. Every Friday morning, 11 a.m. here on our social media platforms. 10:30 a.m., Telling It Like It Is with me, Ralph Williams, Leo Haggerty, and we're always on board with that. This Saturday, our show will be I will be at Lauraville camp out in Mount Pleasant, PA. My wife and I are going on a church retreat this weekend, so the external bum will air. We are leaving Friday, and Saturday morning at 10:30 a.m. I will be at Lauraville, doing telling it like it is, along with Leo Haggerty. So don't worry, just because I'm at Lauraville retreat means that doesn't mean anything. We still will have the telling it like it is show with me, Ralph Williams, Leo Haggerty. We tell it like it is. And don't forget, every Monday night right here, 7 p.m., the way we see it with me, Ralph Williams, and Bill Canatta. Check out that special video I told you about on Sunday that I did yesterday. Check it out. Sports Corner special announcement. Go on YouTube and check it out. All right. For Bill Canatta, who's not here tonight, I'll talk with him next week, and we'll both be here. And for me, Ralph Williams, everyone have a great night. And until next week, have a good one and be safe.